We now move on to item number 6, the report of the board. In my capacity as the board chair, it's my pleasure to present the report of the board to this 2025 AGM. And since the last AGM, the board has convened regularly to guide the association through a year of significant strategic and organizational work. We held 2 regular and 4 special meetings in the past year, including one yesterday. Let me begin with a few words about the performance. In 2024, IATA met or exceeded 78% of its performance targets. While this reflects a high level of achievement, the board took the opportunity to reevaluate how targets are being set and performance is overseen. Over time, the number of annual targets had grown too large and fragmented. Many were not clearly tied to the outcomes we wanted IATA to achieve. And as a result, the board has endorsed a rethink of how these targets are being set. The outcome is a new approach for 2025, structured around 3 pillars: organizational performance, advocacy, and industry transformation. Targets are now more focused, more measurable, and more clearly aligned with IATA's strategic priorities. Yesterday's board meeting was, in fact, organized around these performance targets, with new structure enabled a much more focused review of progress and reflects the board's deepening commitment to performance oversight and accountability. Advocacy has always been a major focus over the past years, and the last year has been no difference. The board had several discussions on how to sharpen IATA's advocacy and improve the organization's ability to influence policy effectively. Among the most pressing issues are the continuing supply chain challenges. These disruptions are delaying deliveries, affecting operational reliability, and constraining maintenance capacity. The board is strongly supportive of a more assertive and coordinated approach to address these challenges systemically. At yesterday's meeting, the board also reviewed IATA's advocacy plan for the upcoming ICAO assembly. The board supports these efforts and calls on all IATA members to coordinate closely with IATA in the lead-up to the assembly, both in engaging with their respective governments and in reinforcing the industry's shared priorities. This coordinated approach will be critical to securing outcomes that reflect the needs and ambitions of our industry. Let me now turn to governance. Over the past year, the board has undertaken the most comprehensive governance review in IATA's history. This was not only about fine-tuning rules, it was a fundamental redesign of our governance framework. There were long-standing issues, unclear accountabilities, limited opportunities for many members to shape IATA's direction, and rules that were outdated and complex. These affected IATA's effectiveness and its ability to represent members with clarity and cohesion. In March, the Chair Committee conducted an in-depth review of reform options. Over the following weeks, we collected feedback, redefined proposals, and subsequently, in April, the board endorsed a final package, which today is being presented here for your approval. Yesterday, we took the next steps by finalizing the terms of reference for the new board committees and reviewing initial steps in implementing the new framework. 2 key resolutions stemming from this work will be submitted to you today. One on the adoption of the new bylaws for the association, and one on the composition of the board under that framework. These will be presented today under item number 7 of the agenda. The proposal before you today is the outcome of a collective effort, and hence I want to sincerely thank all my fellow board members for their commitment, thoughtful input, and unwavering engagement throughout this first phase of the review. Their work has been critical to building a modern, coherent, and inclusive governance model, one that sets the stage for even more effective board engagements in the years ahead. We're confident that this new framework will elevate the quality of strategic discussion, foster broader participation, and enable more transparent and accountable decision-making. And we do look forward with energy and optimism to working within this new structure after this AGM. Following this phase, we will move forward with what we have labeled as phase 2 of the governance review. This will focus on IATA's advisory and standard setting structures, including advisory council and traffic conferences. These are essential to the technical work of IATA, but these structures need to be modernized and their alignment with members' needs should be strengthened. Finally, I would like to highlight a second key proposal that the AGM will be asked for to approve today. Under item number 10, and that's the new methodology for calculating membership dues. This is the first significant reform of the due systems since the 1970s. The new approach is simpler, more transparent, and more equitable, and importantly, it remains the overall assessment level while making the allocation of dues clearer. Colleagues, the board's role is to provide strategic oversight, ensure good governance, and help to position IATA to serve its members as effectively as possible. Over the past year, the board has embraced that role with commitment and purpose. And on behalf of the board, I would like to express my gratitude to all IATA members for your continued trust. And I extend my thanks to my fellow board members for their commitment and engagement over the past year. And surely to Willy and his entire team for his outstanding leadership and the entire IATA team for their dedication and support. It's my pleasure to congratulate Mr. Roberto Alvo on this election by the board yesterday as Vice Chair for the coming year. And I would like to extend now my very best wishes to Luis Gallego. As many of you know, Luis will formally assume the role of board chair at the conclusion of this AGM. We're confident he'll guide the board's work with strategic perspective and a collaborative spirit. And I would like to thank him in advance already for the role he will play ahead. Luis, may I now invite you to join me on stage to share a few remarks.